Hi, Sam. Hi, Ben. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Marge. Hi, Dorothy. And Dorothy's husband, Lois, Rona, Shelly, Kathy. Who else am I missing? Kimberly, Garrett. We already spoke to Robin, El Sandler, Philip. Who else am I missing over here? Let's see over here. Leah, Susan, Jennifer, Evan, Courtney. I appreciate it all. Thank you guys for being here. Very cool. Very cool to have you guys here with me today. I appreciate it.
1 minute, Corey.
Sure. No problem. Michael, what's up? What's up?
Garrett.
Susan.
And you want me to introduce you real quick, Corey?
Sure. Let's rock it.
All right. So this was my whole idea to try to get Corey to do a talk with us tonight. I think I watched your TED Talks at some point in, I think, 2018. Did it come out?
Yeah, a little while ago, yeah.
And I've been following you ever since, and it's been incredible just to follow your journey. And I think you have a great message. And before I go into my scripted intro, I just wanted to say that. So we're really happy you're here tonight. So I just wanted to welcome everyone to Voices of Hope's first installment of its Winter Speaker Series. I'm Garrett Fishman, and I'm pleased to be here with all of you tonight. As the grandson of a Holocaust survivor, tonight's presentation is one of great importance to me and my family. Corey Fleischer is the founder of Erasing Hate, an initiative that combines graffiti removal and social media to erase hate symbols from public spaces. Starting in Montreal, Corey's message and the culture of erasing hate has been a global phenomenon. He has encouraged people all over the world to report and remove hate symbols and graffiti with everyday tools. We are so excited for Corey to be here to tell us all about his work. After the presentation, we'll have a little time for questions, so be sure to send your questions through the chat function at the bottom of your screen. Now, please help in welcoming Corey and Erasing Hate, and we can't wait to hear your presentation.
All right, beautiful. All right, we're good? We're good, yeah?
Yep.
All right, everybody, we're good. Everybody can raise your hand if you can hear me. We're good. Like, we're good. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. All right. For everybody who doesn't know who I am, okay, I don't know if you guys are on Instagram or you're not on Facebook or even if you have any social media at all, that is okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I didn't do it with the last group, but we're going to make this really authentic. I'm going to throw on the vest. And we're gonna rock the vest. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me. This is normally how I look. If you see me online, if you see me in the news, this is normally how it is. Okay. All right. So I appreciate you guys having me. I appreciate you guys spending your time with me today. And it means a lot to me that you guys took some time out of your night. I was just telling Robin and Garrett before, we're in a lockdown here in Montreal. So in around 55 minutes, the city gets locked down. Nobody's allowed to leave. And so it's, I'm stuck here with you guys. I'm not going anywhere anyway. So I'm happy to have you all in my living room. It's fantastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show a slideshow. Okay. I'm going to walk through it. As I'm showing my slideshow, I kind of lose everybody's faces. So I'm not able to see anybody's reactions. I'm going to kind of run through it. Normally I spend a little bit of time on the walkthrough. I'm going to try and speed it up today because I want to have more time to respond to questions. Garrett, I know people are going to send in questions. I also want to make it okay that if somebody wants to raise their hand, that they can unmute their microphone, that we could talk one-on-one, because I don't want to make it seem like everybody has to go through you to get through me. It could be cool if people raise their hands and Garrett, you pick whoever it is, they unmute themselves, and then we can have a conversation. So we'll do that. Garrett, you're going to flag me, or you're going to let me know when we have around 20, 25, let me know around when there's like 25 minutes left, and we'll go through there. Okay. So I'll start it up. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Corey Fleischer. I'm 40 years old, from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. and I'm the founder of the worldwide movement Erasing Hate. We are the first movement of its kind that targets, locates, and eliminates hate speech graffiti anywhere in the world for free. Okay, this is all for free. The movement has started off with just me being by myself here in Montreal. And so now we have hundreds of thousands of people around the world who are following the movement. Last year alone on Facebook, we had over 300 million views. So what you're seeing is, you know, a great growth in not only this movement, but knowledge on what's going on around the world with hate directed towards certain minorities, certain demographics. And so that's what you're seeing over here. So just really quick, I'll kind of give you a little bit of the background on how I got to where I am today. I grew up in a suburb of Montreal. I went through elementary school with you know, with certain disabilities. I have a language processing disorder, okay, which allows me to it allows me to know what I want to say, but in order to verbalize it, I used to have very big difficulties. And so, you know, now I give talks sometimes in front of 5,000 to 10,000 people. So it's, you know, I've worked on it my whole life and got it. Actually now is actually one of my greatest strengths. You know, I worked so hard on trying to overcome it that it became this whole new thing that I was able to use in my you know, on my side. So I went through high school. I was the kid in high school who had a resource room teacher follow him. Okay. I would go from class to class. I would have a teacher who would sit right next to me, who would explain to me when I did tests, I got unlimited time. I would be taken out of the classroom so that I could focus. That's who I am. I graduated high school with a 55 average. Here, it's enough to get you out of high school, but it's not enough to get you into university. I ended up, you know, thank God I was a good enough hockey player. I was actually a really good hockey fighter. I wasn't the best hockey player, but I used to fight everybody. So that was great. I would stand up for everybody on my team. And I was lucky enough that at the same time that I graduated, I got a scholarship to go to a prep school in Maine. Okay, called Hebron Academy. I don't know, it's not far from you guys. It's actually maybe an hour or two away from you guys. Hebron Academy changed my life. I went from classrooms with 60 kids in a class with a teacher not caring about it to 5 kids sitting semicircle around a teacher. And so the teachers there were able to really guide me, really help me get to how to properly think, how to properly, you know, expand my ideas. And so that's also helped me get to where I am today. I graduate prep school. Now I'm in university. I'm in university, and the first year goes by. I'm playing hockey, and but I'm undeclared. I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I'm watching all my friends become doctors, lawyers. Everybody has a path. They're taking their studies. They're spending their time, and I'm sitting there playing hockey and taking my prereq courses and kind of floating. First year passes, I'm undeclared. Second year passes, I'm undeclared. Third year, I get to school. I sit down with the resource room teacher, and she tells me, Corey, what do you want to do with, you know, where are we going here? I honestly, I said to her, I have no idea what I wanted to do. I was picking my classes with her. And as a joke, okay, I saw that there was a women's studies class. All right. And so I said, you know what, if I'm in school, I might as well start, you know, learning about something that I'm interested in. So I might as well, I'm going to take this women's studies class. So now I get into my very first women's studies class, and I'm in this big auditorium with 500 people, and I'm already 2 years into school. Everybody knows that I'm, you know, who I am. I'm on the hockey team. And in the first 5 minutes, I get called out in the women's studies class that I'm in the room for the wrong reasons. You know, I'm a hockey player. The only reason why I'm taking this class is because there's women in it. And so they were right. I wasn't wrong. But what the great part about it was is they didn't want me there. And so that's all I needed. I just needed to be in a place where they didn't want me to be there. And now I had a reason to start showing up to class. So then I take another women's studies class, and then another women's studies class. And now my whole, year is filled up with women's studies classes. So third year passes, I get into fourth year. I sit down with the resource room and I sit to her and I tell her, get me out of university. I'm like, I can't deal with it here anymore. I need to get out. What's the quickest way for me to get out of university? She looks at me with a big smile on her face and she says, women's studies. So I'm actually the only hockey player in school history to ever graduate with women's studies degree. That's like my one of my big things that I have. But I graduate university. I come home to Montreal with a women's studies degree, and I'm 6'2", 250 pounds. I don't look like the nicest guy all the time. People cross the streets when they see me walking. I didn't really have a big future dealing with women. So I was lost. And so what I did was, once again, I'm back to being lost, back to not knowing what I want to do with my life. And so I speaking to my father, I started a power washing company. Okay, everybody here knows what a power washing company is. It's the power washers. I have a truck. I have a big tank of water. And now I'm power washing. I'm working. I'm paying the bills. I'm able to, support myself. But I hate my life. I hate my life. Okay, I go to work every day. I hate my life. I come home from work every day. I hate my life. I'm once again, I'm power washing windows. I'm power washing pigeon poop. I'm power washing people's driveways. And there is absolutely zero substance in my life. When I tell you zero, less than zero substance in my life. All my friends are becoming doctors, lawyers. They're actually doing things, saving people's lives, helping people. And Corey is cleaning pigeon poop on the side of buildings. And so I would wake up constantly in the middle of the night at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I would start to cry. I would start to cry because I just felt like something was missing, right? I felt that like, that I've gone so far in my life, that I had so much to offer, but I wasn't offering anything. And this was something that I struggled with for maybe 20 years. And so one day I'm at a light, I'm in my truck, the light's red, and I look over at the light, and under the light on a giant cinder block is a giant red spray painted swastika. Now I'm sitting in the truck. Okay, I am Jewish. Okay, I'm not religious at all, but I'm a very proud Jew. And I'm looking at this thing. I'm staring it in the face. It's looking at me, staring back at me. I'm in a truck. I have everything in my truck to erase this swastika. And I wish the story was that I popped out of my truck right there and I erased my very first swastika, and that's how this movement started. But that's not what happened. I kept driving. Right, the light turned green and I kept driving. And so the second that I passed that swastika, I felt sick with myself. I couldn't believe that. Is like I could have made a difference. I had a chance to make a difference and I didn't do it. I don't know if you guys can relate at home, but it was this terrible feeling. So now I'm 3 hours into a job, 45 minutes away. We're cleaning somebody's driveway. And I had this epiphany moment. I'm looking at everybody and I'm like, there has to be more to life than this. I want to go back to the swastika. I send everybody home. I jump back into my truck. I head back to that swastika. I jump out of my truck. I erase my very first swastika, my very first piece of hate. I realized that 15 seconds that I got from erasing that swastika was something with a feeling that I was looking for my whole life. I didn't know how I was going to get that feeling again, but I knew that I needed it again. And so what I would do is I would come home from work. I stopped playing hockey. I stopped playing softball. I stopped hanging out with my friends. And now I'm driving around the city of Montreal looking for alleyways and drug infested areas and prostitution areas, anywhere that I can find something that was a graffiti, that was derogatory, that was directed towards a minority, that was some sort of hate. And so in the first 5 years of doing that by myself, I found and I erased around 50 pieces. We're talking almost 10 a year. Okay. And so that was great. And so, one day I was sitting on my Facebook and basically just give me 1 second. Hold on. I'm sitting on my Facebook, and I don't know if you guys know about. Hold on one second, guys. Just give me 1 second because I'm right now. I am. Is that right here? Hold on. I don't know why, but I lost all you guys. Give me a second here. Back to meeting. Hold on. There we are. Okay, we're back. Yeah. So I raised my very first piece of hate. I average around 50 pieces a year, 50 pieces in 5 years. Now I'm sitting on my Facebook, right? And I'm like, for the first 5 years, I had this thing where like ignorance was bliss. I didn't want anybody to know what I was doing. I didn't want people to know what it was that I was erasing. I felt that people would be in a better situation if they didn't know what was happening. And so I'm sitting at my Facebook and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to post some of the removals that I did. And I sat in front of my computer for 3 hours and I would upload and then time would pass and I wouldn't post it and the computer would reload and I would reload it again and I never posted it. And after 3 hours, you know, I built up the courage. I thought that nobody would ever want to talk to me again, that no girl would ever talk to me again, that everybody would think that I'm this giant weirdo, right? This is what I'm doing with my time. And after 3 hours, I posted it. And so it was 1 second to the other, my life changed. The next morning, I had interviews all over Montreal, which led into interviews all over Canada, which led into interviews all over the US, which led into interviews all over the world. I went from one person to now we're hundreds of thousands of people that are following this movement. Last year alone, we had over 300 million views on Facebook alone. And as we are moving, we are reaching tens of thousands of pieces of hate that are being removed all over the world. We're talking Australia, we're talking Kuwait, Iraq, the Middle East, South America, all over the US, everywhere. Sometimes I wake up, I can't even believe where this movement has gone or where we're going, okay? So what I'm gonna do is for people who have no idea what I'm talking about, who've never seen what I'm doing before, just big face, bald headed guy talking like crazy into the camera, let me show you, okay, exactly what I'm dealing with, exactly what we're dealing with, exactly where the movement started, where it's going, and that's what we're gonna do. Is everybody, we're okay? Everybody thumbs up, we're good? Yeah, yeah? Okay, perfect. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna screen share. Give me 1 second, guys. Just give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay, are we good right now? Yeah, everybody's okay? Yeah? Okay, let me just play this. All right, we're good? Yeah, everybody sees it? Okay. Okay, so look, this is just the beginning of what we're doing. This is actually what you're seeing over here. This is just the front part of the of my presentation. I actually never speak about this picture, but what you're seeing over here is two giant swastikas that were left on a bridge almost 2 hours away from where I live, and the government refused to clean it, and the city refused to clean it, and so I drove 2 hours to remove it. And so this is me literally sitting on the side of a highway, and so as soon as people started to see me there, everybody started popping out of their cars and started to take pictures. That's what you're seeing over here. I'm gonna play a little clip right now. It's around 1.5 minutes. You're gonna see exactly where it is, and I'm gonna roll in through there, okay? Hopefully the clip is, the clip rolls perfectly, and that, okay, here we go. Okay. You able to hear? Are you guys able to hear this? Are you guys able to hear?
No, Corey. No,
No,
Corey.
either, right? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Are you guys there right now?
We can't hear.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
Hold on, nothing yet? Hold on. 1 second. Yeah? Okay, hold on. You're good? We're good? Yeah?
Little bit of nail polish remover, a rag, and watch how easily it's gone. Just like that, that Nazi's gone. Let's get rid of that swastika.
That's in Portugal.
When it's in wood, when it's in cement, when it's in plastic, you don't know where it's going. Sometimes it's in glass. So, there are always different tools that you can use. And so you come in here and you kind of just try to be creative. $52 for a bottle of water, and some cement cover up, and my new spatula. People always ask me, why do I do it for free? Why am I spending my own money to do this? Who's paying me? No one's going to pay me to do this. Hate crimes are everywhere. Big or small, we erase them all. Let's go. There's no room for this in our area, in your area, or anywhere. Take care of this. Let's go. I roll around the city looking for anything that I can erase, anything that's flagrant or could be offensive to any cultures, and I have the expertise and I have all the equipment to make a difference, and that's what I do.
All right, are we good, everybody? Yeah? You're able to hear me now? We're still good? Okay, hold on. Robin or Garrett, there's a lady called Angie. I don't know if you guys, are you able to hear me right now? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so sorry about that. There's a lady called Angie, okay? Angie, R-I-C-H-T. She is trying to get in on this program. Are you able to let her in?
Yeah, we're having some problems
Okay.
with
She is a Holocaust survivor that I remove hate with. And it would be,
okay. So yeah, we don't see a lot of people in. Tell her to sign on again and we will let her in.
She has to list her first and last name, though. That's the problem.
List your first and last name. Okay. Hopefully she could come in on this, guys, because Angie, she comes with me a lot, and she removes hate with me, and she has a great story. Basically, she was born in Auschwitz. She's one of the only people to ever be born in Auschwitz, and she comes with me basically in a lot of spots to come and remove. Do you see her yet or no?
No, we only.
Unless she's signing in on an iPad.
You won't be able to see it?
Well, we need a name.
Okay. How many people right now are trying to get in?
There's only one iPad. No one named Angie.
I would, hold on. Are you, 1 second, on a iPad?
Sorry, everybody. We're
Oh,
having.
sorry, guys, but it'll be worth it to have her in here. Give me a second. It'll be great, honestly. To even have her in here is like a super, just a privilege. No, she's not on an iPad, so I don't know who it is.
Yeah, something
Okay.
very strange because we're having. Tell her.
She's on a computer.
Okay. I'm gonna send you my phone number and I will get her on.
Okay, yeah, she's on Zoom. Okay, look, we'll just continue going, and so if it happens, it happens. If not, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so do you want to send me your phone number? Is that how that's how it's gonna roll?
Yep, I did.
Okay, how did you send it? By email?
I just sent it by chat.
Okay, I don't see. Okay, let's continue, and next time we'll try to get Angie on. I don't know. Okay, continue. All right. Okay, boom, boom, boom. All right. What you're seeing over here. Okay, everybody, we're good. You're able to hear me. We're still rolling through. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, she needs an ID. Okay. What you're seeing over here. This is a giant swastika that was. This was on the side of a Jewish family's home for, I think it was like 10 or 15 years. And so it was a single mother. She had 3 kids. She had no money. She had no way to have this removed. She didn't have the money to have it removed. And so what you're seeing over here is that she came and she painted the swastika, not in a box. And when I showed up there, the swastika looked triple the size. Okay. And so what you're able to see right over here, I'm 6'2", 250 pounds. Check out the size of that swastika. That was sitting on the side of a Jewish family's home for that long. Okay, nobody had a way to do it. She didn't have the means to have it removed, and so that's, you know, unfortunately what the situation. Until she found out that there was a way or a free service to have her removed, did she actually act on it and have her removed. Swastikas. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know, everybody in here knows what a swastika is. You know, it's a symbol that Hitler ended up using, you know, for the sign of his for his party. Just so that you guys know, swastikas are thousands of years old. Okay, used to this day by Buddhist and Hindu people as a sign of peace, as a sign of good luck, as a sign of fortune. And so sometimes when you're, you know, in certain areas of the world, you know, you'll see a swastika, and you know, you'll see what it is, and it doesn't always represent you know, hate towards minorities. And so a lot of people, why I like to use this picture, is that a lot of people think that swastika needs to be angled, and it doesn't. What you're seeing is the eagle in the middle. You'll see that it's squared. And then if you look at the flags, you'll see that the swastikas are angled. What differentiates, and it's important for everybody at home to know, what differentiates a Nazi swastika from all other swastikas throughout time is a white circle and black lines. Okay, a white circle and black lines. Now, a lot of stuff that I removed don't have white circles and black lines, and that is because most people who throw this up are uneducated people. Okay, let's keep on going. You'll see over here, this is actually the first piece of international press that I got. I got called in. This is an anchor museum here, probably 15 minutes outside of Montreal. This is in an anchor park, which is an anchor museum. And if you look in the background of this, you'll actually see fields. And so one day I pulled up, and you guys can check, all you have to do is type in swastika anchor on Google, and you'll see there'll be hundreds of articles that will pop up. And so what ended up happening was I was there, the mayor ended up showing up, told me not to remove it. This right over here is just to show you that, you know, look, it's angled on the sleeve, but it's not angled on here. But just to go through, I came in, you'll see in the background over here, you'll see that there's people setting up tents. Okay, this is in a park where anybody can walk into. This is 15 minutes right now from where I live. And so the mayor showed up and told me to get out of this park. He tried blowing me out of the park. I had my power washer with me. I didn't really know what to do. And the mayor kind of said some really terrible words to me, told me to get the F out of this park. And that's, I was running live on Facebook. And when he said that to me, I turned around and I blasted away the paint, right? So we called the police. The police ended up showing up. And so basically when you see the video, you know, online on Google, you'll see there's 4 police officers kind of surrounding me. The mayor didn't want to press charges. He basically said, it's okay, we're not going to press charges on it. We're just going to go through on it. And as I was walking away, the mayor looked at me, goes, but as soon as you leave here, I'm going to my house, I'm grabbing white and black paint and I'm repainting that swastika exactly the way it was. Right, and this is you know, a little bit away from my office. So when he said that to me, I stopped and I turned around and I looked at him. I go, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm going right now to go grab it to restore it to what it is." Now remember, guys, a white circle and black lines. This swastika anchor is a pre-World War II dated anchor. This was grabbed out of the St. Lawrence River, okay, which is near us, dating pre-World War II. So this swastika before Hitler was used on a ship because it was a sign of good fortune and a sign of luck, right? So they would put these swastikas on these anchors, okay, in order to bring luck to the ship, okay, which was okay. This was before World War II. This is before Hitler. What this park did was, be knowing or unbeknowing or just ignorance, they painted it with a white circle and black lines. Also, underneath there was a plaque. The plaque said Hitler, the plaque said Nazis, the plaque said all kinds of fake stuff. The park was using, you know, Nazi propaganda to bring people to the park when this anchor had nothing to do with the actual, with World War II or anything. So as I'm walking away, the mayor says, "I'm going to repaint it." I look at him and I go, "Yeah." I go, "If you repaint it, I'll be back here tomorrow." I said, "I'll be back here the next day, and then the next day, and the next day." I said, "I will buy a house in this town, and every day before I go to work, I will stop in this park, and I will blast away this swastika." And so he looked at the police, and he basically said, you know, how do we get this guy out of my park? And so he basically at that point had to press charges, and which we went to court for, and then I was immediately released on. And you know, it's one of the most proudest moments that I had was that I stood up to this guy in this park, and you know, just he told me nobody's complained about it in the last 25 years. Doesn't mean that it's okay. So this is what, just to show you what we're dealing with and how it's accepted in our society. Okay. 1 second. A lot of the hate that we remove, 1 second here, 1 second. Okay, this one, sorry, I just went back on it. So we don't only remove anti-Semitic hate, we remove all forms of hate. It could be homophobic hate, Islamophobic hate, hate towards the Black communities. What you're seeing over here is self-explanatory. You guys can see what it is. This was on our major highway here in Montreal. This sat on there for a few years, okay? This was up there for a few years. You have literally millions of people that are going down this highway every single week. Everybody's looking at it. Nobody's doing a thing about it. And so I actually teamed up with Nike. Nike came out with me, and we removed it together with all the employees at the stores. So that's what we're showing. Islamophobic hate, the same thing. We do not discriminate against hate. Any kind of hate, we will remove. And so what you're seeing over here, this sign with Eve Torres on the right-hand side, you had two ladies, probably between 55 to 70 years old, walking up down the street. They caught them on a video doing this, right? You would think it's always kids, it's always the kids, it's always teenagers. It's not, okay? Sometimes it's older people that are just hateful, and this is what they're doing. So we went up and down and we cleaned everything. 1 second, okay. Self-explanatory again, all right, towards the Black community. This is in a bus stop in the middle of winter, okay? And so everybody that went into this bus stop, this is what they're seeing. You know, the bus company didn't come and clean it up. Nobody came and cleaned it up. And this actually sat there. I mean, I don't even know what the timeline of how long this sat there for was, okay? Okay, anti-Semitism. What you're seeing over here is I got called one day to a building here in Montreal in the most predominantly Jewish area, or one of the most predominantly Jewish areas in all of Canada. And so there was 12 cars sitting in a garage. And what had happened was they went into the garage at 3 o'clock in the morning. They spray painted all the cars with giant red swastikas. They smashed out the windows, and they left an envelope on every single one of the windshield wipers, on every one of the cars. And in the envelope was a letter with a bullet in the envelope. And the letter said, the next time this bullet is for you. Now, everybody moved out of the building in time. But what's crazy about what this is, okay, and what you're looking at here, is that the protocol that when this happens is that the person is to get into his car with a giant red swastika, drive it through the city, okay, to a garage, and then pay thousands of dollars to remove it. Does that make sense to you? 2020, 2021, that's the protocol for removing hate on a car, okay? Never mind, the people can't afford to have it removed, but the embarrassment of driving through a major city with this on the car is unacceptable, okay? What you're seeing over here, okay, is with the growth of erasing hate, we've now moved into removing or covering up tattoos, okay? So what you're seeing is we remove all kinds of hate, but we also vary in looking at different kinds of hate, all right? So I teamed up with a bunch of people in the States. This is actually from the guy that I use the most. His name's Billy White. He's based out of Ohio, okay? And we have a giant, you know, Rolodex of tattoo artists all over the world. So you report it to us, we remove it. A lot of people who are in this, they walk through it. They want to vet the people that are getting these tattoos removed. For me, I don't care. I don't care what the reason is. I don't even care if you still believe in white pride. What's the other option? The other option is leaving this here. And for me, that's just not acceptable. So it's also, you know, it's, 1 second here. Okay. And so what you'll see is, as this goes, this is a woman who reported to me. She lived an hour outside of Ohio. And so this is, you know, the exact same thing. This is on her back. You know, she got it when she was a teenager. She wanted to have it removed. And so she contacted us to remove it. So you have to understand, for me, this is how I see it. I don't care what your views are. What I care about is you changing. And so this is, for me, the beginning of someone changing. It's a very different thing when you wake up in the morning and you wake up, you go into the mirror, you're about to shower, and there's a giant swastika on you. The rest of the day, you know, the rest of your day, you're walking around as somebody with a giant swastika, a Nazi, whatever it is. If there's a flower, maybe when you're waking up in the morning, that's not who you're going to be for the rest of the day. The same thing over here. I mean, these are not giant, small little tiny swastikas. These are giant swastikas that we're removing. Okay, so what's super cool, not only do we remove and cover up, we teamed up with laser treatment companies that are also doing removal. So check this out. Look how cool this is. All right. So it's, you know, it doesn't always have to be covered up. Sometimes people want to remove. So we work with all kinds of companies, not only in North America, but all over the world with laser companies that are literally willing to do it. So look, you're looking at, you know, what did it cost this laser company to have this removed? What was that? Maybe 35 seconds, 40 seconds to have it removed. Look at the difference that makes in somebody's lives. It's massive. This right over here, I did at the beginning of the whole Black Lives Matter movement. This was a few months ago. You know, at the beginning, I showed you what it was. We walked through it. But I decided to throw this in because I thought this was a pretty cool removal. And so, yeah, let's just roll through this one also.
What's going on, guys? A recent heat coming to your live. I'm about to take out a swastika. I'm dedicated.
Oh, sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm always screaming. Okay, I'm always screaming. So this is basically what it is. This is like my persona. But when I'm not doing my persona over here, you know, I'm talking nicely. But normally when you're seeing me, if it's on a video, I'm screaming. There's spit flying everywhere. I'm throwing things, and this is how I feel. And so what you're seeing in these videos, a lot of people ask me, and I think it's also how a lot of people relate to what I'm doing. The emotion that you're seeing here, okay, and me doing this, I could do this 9 bazillion times. I'm gonna always do it like this because this is my raw emotion coming out as somebody who fiends this. I tell a lot of people this is like drugs, okay? I chase this. It is this feeling that I get that once again it makes me feel complete. So let's roll it.
What's going on, guys? A recent heat coming to your live. I'm about to take out a swastika. I'm dedicating this to George Floyd and everybody around the world coming together to fight hate. Solidarity, unity, empathy. That's what we're all about. We don't have to hold here. Let's go. Black Lives Matter. And until the next time,
We love you.
So that basically is the gist of what you'll see when you come onto my Instagram or you go onto my Facebook. It's just a lot of videos like this of having it removed. And so what you're seeing is such a minimal time that it takes to have it removed that if this wasn't here, that swastika would be up on that wall to this very day. And that's just a sad situation on what this is. And so I like to tell a lot of people also, you know, they ask me about the hate. What I do is I use the hate here in Montreal to educate and to inspire people around the world to step up and to battle hate. Garrett, where are we on the time? 5 minutes left?
No, we got like 20 minutes.
We got 20 minutes in total, or
like 5-10 minutes of your presentation, and we can go into some questions.
okay, beautiful. I'm gonna speed round this now. We're gonna go through it. Okay, I'm gonna try and do it as fast as I can over here. Okay. All right. So yeah, I used to wear a Batman mask. Everybody here wants to know why I used to wear a Batman mask? The reason why I wear a Batman mask is who's gonna tell me that I can't wear a Batman mask? I'm 40 years old. Okay. I travel around the city of Montreal, okay, erasing swastikas and all kinds of hate, okay, with a woman studies degree. You understand what I'm telling you guys here? I am 40 years old. I run around town with a Batman mask erasing swastikas. Now, if that doesn't show you guys that you can do whatever you want in your life, then I don't know what does. Okay, that's exactly what you guys are seeing here. And I don't care how old you guys are now. I don't care if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. It's irrelevant. This is something that anybody can do. Okay, I actually had to get rid of the Batman mask at the time because, well, the reason why I brought it, I guess I should tell you, is that I would do these removals and nobody would pay attention. Nobody would pay not a second's mind to what we were doing. And so I threw on the Batman mask. All of a sudden, there's this guy running around town erasing stuff in a Batman mask. And then it turned into something where people were just focusing on the Batman mask. So it's what was really not the most important. So I had to get rid of it. Okay.
What's going on, guys? Erasing Hate coming to you live about.
Okay. And so this is what you're seeing over here. This is actually in the middle of somebody's home. These two people were actually fighting over who was going to pay to have this removed. Okay. And I actually drove by it and I saw what was going, somebody reported to me, and not until, we saw it, we came in and just basically erased it. Super simple like that. Okay. This is literally in between two people's homes. And so they were fighting over it. That goes to show you what people are and what their mind frame is on it. Okay. A lot of people like to ask me about what my favorite removal is. Okay. This is my favorite removal. Okay. A lot of people, ask me about, what are my two favorite things? We were discussing before. My two favorite things are animals, dogs, and erasing hate. And so you'll see on the left side over here, we actually rescued this dog from Mexico. This dog was running around the streets of Mexico. Somebody inked up this dog with a red swastika on its head with eyebrows. We rescued it. We brought it to a great organization in California. It took like 5 or 6 tries to remove the ink. The ink is gone. And as you see on the right side, that's who he is right now. He's with a family. And even to this day, one of my favorite removals. I started making memes. I don't know if you guys know what memes are, but these are what memes are. It's just something you throw onto social media. And so what this is I'm constantly getting swastikas that aren't drawn properly. The swastikas aren't drawn properly because the people that are putting up are ignorant and uneducated. So this is what it is. I actually had to stop posting these because my account kept on getting blocked by Instagram and Facebook because it kept on getting flagged. So the real swastikas are okay, but I guess the fake swastikas are not. I still don't understand it, but I stopped posting it. Holocaust education should be taught in every single school. This is my own personal thing that I'm going through right now. This is my goal of my lifetime, to make sure that that Holocaust education, not only Holocaust education, but all genocide education is mandatorily taught in school. This is literally what I'm advocating. This is something that I 100% am going after. This is what I spent a lot of my time doing. And I'm telling everybody that's on this Zoom right now, by the time that I am gone, this will be mandatory in schools. So help me God, I will go into the ground fighting for this. So that's how I.
Corey, I'm going to interrupt you real quick, just so you know. Voices of Hope actually made it. They helped create the legislature in Connecticut that created it and made it mandatory that Holocaust education be taught and genocide education be taught in every school in Connecticut.
There are only 11 states in America that make it mandatory to teach Holocaust education. That's exactly what's going on. But Gary, I love that. We're going to actually talk about that a little bit more afterwards, okay? This right over here is 8-year-old Ella. 8-year-old Ella, she is one of the smartest girls I've ever met. She knows more about the Holocaust and about Hitler and the Nazis than I do. And so what you're going to see over here is that you're going to see an old swastika that was probably 30 or 40 years old that's sitting in a sidewalk. And so so as you can see on the background, you see stairs. There's homes, attached homes, hundreds of them placed along the street. And every single day, it's not just one set of stairs. There's like 4 or 5 sets of stairs. When you're coming down every day, it's impossible to miss the swastika. Nobody did anything forever. And so what I showed everybody is that an 8-year-old girl in the matter of a minute was able to do more than any adult would in the last 40 years. And it's important to see here. Look how old the swastika is over here. It's almost fading, and it's like, looks like that sidewalk super old. And look how easily that is. That's less than $5 in cement mix at your local hardware store. This is in France. I was super lucky. I actually started traveling before coronavirus hit. We were in France twice. We were in Portugal. We were in Amsterdam. Where else? We were in Spain. And so the next move is to go to the concentration camps. That's my next move. I actually always felt, I'm not going to go too far into it, but for a lot of my life, or the erasing hate part of my life, I felt like I wasn't ready to go. And it's hard for me to, you would think out of all people, me, that I'm not ready to go. And so it's because, I surround myself with hate all day long, that I felt that if I was going to go to a concentration camp, that I would never be able to recover when I came home, right? Just my mind is just, around this all day long. And so that's how I felt. And so as soon as coronavirus happened, and, here in Canada, we're not allowed to leave. We're not allowed to really fly out. A lot of people ask me, what's the first place I want to go when I leave? And a lot of people, they say Mexico, they say the beaches, they say Florida. And honestly, the biggest regret of my life is that I've never been to a concentration camp. And so that's my next move. I feel like I have this giant responsibility to show the hundreds of thousands of people, soon to be millions of people, exactly what transpired, over there. I'm going to roll through this real quick. I end up getting a government over here. They end up giving me, this is the number one, coming from somebody who was afraid to thought that no girls were ever going to speak to him again, that nothing was ever going to happen, to this is the award for the number one person in the province, which is like a state, the number one civilian who's making the biggest difference out of 8.2 million people. They gave us this. In 2016, I won a peace medal, and I just got awarded a few weeks ago a military service medal from literally from our prime minister, which is like the president. So I'm going to be, as soon as this is over, that's going to be the move going forward. And so that's it. So hold on one second. I just want to come back to this. This right over here, just before, this is the last slide, okay, in my presentation, but this day, okay, that you're seeing right here in this picture, I almost quit this day. This is the day that I said to myself that I wasn't making a difference, and I was wasting my time. I guess I was listening to people. It was just a bad day for me, a really bad day. And if you talked to me at around noon on that day, I was done. I was done erasing hate. It was over for me. And so I went to a grocery store, and I'm walking out of the grocery store. I have all my food with me, and I see this T-shirt. The only thing necessary for the persistence of evil is for enough good people to do nothing, right? I actually chased this man down and to take a picture of his back, and he turned around right before I got to him. He's like, what? He's like, I don't know. He's like, he thought I was gonna rob him. I mean, I don't even know what he thought I was doing there. But I said, no, I said, your T-shirt, it's surprising me, and is it okay if I take a picture? And he said, yeah. And so this shirt is what kept this movement going forward that day. So it was super special. And, a lot of people, that are at home right now, you know what I'm gonna do? Hold on, I just want to stop this for a second. Let me just make sure it's the last slide. I think it is, yeah. Let me just stop the share. Let me come back to the, so I can see all you guys. Hey guys. Okay, so look, it's important for everybody at home, once again, to understand social change around the world. The only difference between me and everybody that's watching this right now, and I mean the only difference, is that, I have a power washer, some water, and drive to make a difference. I mean, that's it. A lot of people think in order to make social change around the world that you need all these unattainable things. You need algorithms, you need millions of dollars. Everybody likes to complicate everything. Just think about what I'm doing and how simple it is and how crazy it is that I'm here talking to you guys over something so simple. right? I have hundreds of thousands of people following me. I had 300 million views on Facebook last year. I'm being flown all over the world. And what am I doing? I see a bad piece of hate. I take an eraser and I erase it. Like it makes no sense. So, you know, sometimes it's the most simplest of things that make the biggest differences. And so that's where we are right now. So I'm glad that I didn't stop. I'm glad that we moved forward, and it's brought me in front of you guys right now. And so I feel like I'm the luckiest person in the world. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. And that's my presentation.
Thank you very much, Corey. That was awesome. And I have one question that came in. I don't know if anyone else has any other questions. I know you said you don't really care so much about the story of the people that are trying to erase hate, and you just, you know, you're all for having it be gone. Do you think, I mean, obviously something has to change in their mind when they reach out to you to get, you know, a tattoo covered up or removed. Do they ever share their story of why they got it, or lacking understanding of when they got it?
You know, Garrett, it's funny you say that, because yeah, every single time that somebody sends me a message, it's always like a 3-pager. Why I got it, the reason. Everybody feels as if they have to tell me their whole back end story on why they got it, or or the reasons that they got it, so that you know, that I don't know if it's a way for them to move past it, or maybe they feel like as if they have to explain it to me. But as I said before, Garrett, I don't care. Right? I don't care. The other option is to leave it. And honestly, to leave it for me is there's no, it's just something that doesn't click in my head, right? It's just something that, you know, and even if somebody is just doing it because they want to hide it, and, you know, they still continue, you know, their path of hate going forward, it still allows them a chance to be reborn and a chance to start over new. And it's, you know, if every single morning you're waking up and you're getting into your Nazi, you know, your Nazi uniform, right? You're a Nazi for the rest of the day. And so I just feel that if you're not in that uniform, and if it's not on you, that there's a chance at some point you're able to turn that leaf. And so that's how we roll. And that's my mentality on it. I don't spend much time on it. I'm on to the next one, and I'm on to the next one. And then I just keep on going forward. I don't have time to look back anymore. I don't have time to look at what it is. And if I'm able to help you start a new life, that's great. You know, but if I'm able to stop somebody else from seeing that giant tattoo on you also, and stop the cycle of hate that way, all for it. So that's how I think about that.
And does anyone have any other questions? I think that's the only one that was sent in so far. I don't know if Kim got any.
I just sent you one from one of our younger viewers.
What is the number of the most hate messages you have erased in a day? And that was from Valerie, who's 10 years old.
Hi, Valerie. Hi. So, you know, sometimes I've removed 50 or 60 in a day. It really depends. And that's personally. That's not around the world. I've come to a place where actually I took the slide out of the presentation today, because I thought the presentation was going to be a little bit too long. But you know, sometimes in the middle of the night, you'll have 4 or 5 people put up, you know, 6-foot swastikas across 20, 30 buildings, and they'll leave it there. And so, you know, 50 or 60, and then that's just me. And then, you know, let alone the hundreds of others that could come in a day. But it's not always like that. Sometimes I wake up and there's minimal. So it really depends on, you know, where we are, what's happening that day. And some days are a little bit crazier than others, but they always get removed. We've never been in a situation where we haven't been able to remove something. So if we're not able to do it with the people that are doing it at home, we'll hire somebody to do it, and if it's not that way, we'll figure it out. So that's where we are with that. So yeah.
And then I got one more question from Heidi that I'll jump in. That it was, do you do motivational speaking for high schools? And we had Corey on before this, and we had a group from JT Connect of they were together over at the JCC. And we did a little interactive question and answers before, but I'll let Corey answer that more fully.
Yeah, it's do I do talks? This is talking is at schools is I get it's the same high that I get from removing hate. As I explained before, I suffered greatly in high school. I suffered a lot. I felt as if I was never going to amount to anything. So the fact that I'm able to go into schools and to talk to kids and to explain to kids that there's much more than high school, and it doesn't matter what your grades are going forward, you're still going to be able to be successful going forward as long as you apply yourself and do something that you love. That's what it is. So other than actually physically erasing hate, talking to students, it's called the Erasing Hate School Tour, is probably my second most favorite thing to do. And so I actually fly all over the world to talk to kids, come to schools, and once again, it was going very smoothly until coronavirus hit and until COVID hit. And so now everything's Zoom. So, hopefully things get back into how they were, and I'm able to get back into Europe and other places that really need us. So, yeah.
Then I think we have 2 or 3 more questions here, and then we'll wrap up.
Sure.
How do we combat complacency with anti-Semitism in our media?
Complacency. So are you saying meaning go a little bit further into it?
I'm assuming it's when media outlets are pushing. I know, like, there was just some skits on Saturday Night Live that were done that.
Yeah, I saw it.
That were pretty disgusting, and how is this even okay? Do people get an out because it's comedy?
I just think, well, first of all, I mean, the fact that Lorne Michaels is, the whole thing doesn't make sense, right? I don't know if sometimes comedy, people like these, it's just a sour time to be talking about it. I just think it was a misplaced thing, but it's something that I'm very desensitized to. It's something that I see every single day. You're just being educated about it a little bit more, and so you're seeing on Saturday Night Live. But this is happening in small areas with people all over the world on a daily basis. It happens in different countries on a daily basis, different venues on a daily basis. And, it's just something that you have to work through. And it's about being a community. It's about working together. It's about not being alone. It's about being proactive. It's about showing empathy to other people that are going through the same thing as you. And so that's the way you work through it. It's about education. It's about educating our students. It's about educating our youth. This is the only way we're going to ever move past this is through education, right? And, there are some people in here that, were directly affected by World War II, have been, and realistically, World War II to right now, it's a steady, amount of hate that has been coming since. And so, realistically, a lot of people are starting to see more now, right? So, what happened in the last 6 decades or, the last 5.5 decades, the hate has always been there. Right. And so the truth of the matter is that if you didn't see the hate on your local newspaper or on your 6 o'clock news, you weren't being educated about it. You were never going to find out about it. But now that social media is so widely used and, all you need to do to find out worldwide news is just flip open your phone and it's right there. It's there in your face a lot more. So it's just that, people are there, people are, you're being it's a lot more in your face. And, but the only way to stop it is through education. And so, once again, going back to Holocaust education leads into this, and, hopefully, it'll make a big difference. And so that's the plan. That's the goal.
We have a lot more questions. So Corey, I don't know how much time.
Let's go. Rock it.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is, I know we said we'd finish it up at 8. We're going to ask a couple more questions, and then if people need to sign off, we totally understand. But these are good. So Garrett, I sent them your way.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know how much time we had, so I didn't.
We'll just
as long as Zoom doesn't shut us down. I don't know what the time limit is on Zoom, but let's go. I'll go until
we'll just go a couple more minutes over.
No problem.
Okay, go ahead, Garrett.
And then I have a question that, have you ever been messaged, or has anyone ever reached out that's been doing the graffiti? that have threatened you in any way? Or
I get threats every single day of my life. It is actually a good story about this is that when I first started doing this, right? When I first started doing this and I first started going out, I used to get all kinds of threats, death threats every day. And it scared me, right? I was like, oh my God, someone's gonna come and kill me. That's it. I better get the alarm company and buy a gun, and I gotta go do this. They're gonna kill me. And I was like that for like, I don't know, like 6 months, right? And then one day it just stopped. Like one day to the next, it just stopped. And for like 3 or 4 months. And 3 months into it stopping, I started asking myself what I was doing wrong, right? That's my mentality. That's how I think. What am I doing wrong? How come nobody's threatening me anymore? What's going on? And then they started happening again, right? And when they started happening again, it's going to be crazy that I'm going to say this, but I almost enjoyed it. I almost wanted it. I almost wanted to accept it. And I'm like, okay, things are back in place. Let's continue going. Look, the truth of the matter is you're never going to do anything that's meaningful. You're never going to do anything that's going to change the world without people trying to bring you down. And so for me now, it's just I wake up. If I get a few death threats, it's like as if you take a gasoline can and you throw it on the fire. And that's just my mentality. I guess I'm a little bit different. This is the way that I am. And whereas they think that they're trying to stop me, it's just pushing me further along. And so that's basically it. Yeah, that's how I roll with pieces of hate. But yeah.
And I think the last question is, we obviously with the anchors, you didn't get support from the local municipalities. Are you getting more support from local municipalities? Do they reach out to you to remove stuff or let you know when there's, situations that come up?
Look, I've had great success with many other places. My own personal situation here in Montreal has been the greatest. Realistically, you have to understand when I started doing this, I'm bringing some bad attention to the city, right? I'm showing people that, what's going on here. And so the last administration, I would tag the mayor all the time. And so they called me in to stop tagging the mayor in my Facebook posts, right? And which was like crazy. And so I just had they just called me last week to sit down and to have a conversation with me because they're running a racism program here in Montreal. I'm getting awards from, the province, which is the state, forget the city, the state, and, the actual, the government itself, and the city hasn't done anything. So I don't know if there's any pressure from inside that's making them, reach out to me right now, but that's just what it is. So, but realistically, at the beginning, I was very sour about it, right? I was very sour about it. I was like, I made Montreal the first city in the world that has a system in place, let alone this movement that has grown out of Montreal. That's now this worldwide movement that started here. And like, there's never been anything that's come from the city, and, but it ended up being one of the biggest blessings because before, when I first started, it's a grassroots movement by the people for the people. There's nothing else like it in the world. It wasn't like I was able to look at somebody else and see how that they did it and follow their path. I kind of had to like figure things out. My life is kind of like the game of Operation. The game of Operation, you touch the side, you get zapped. You touch the other side, you get zapped again, and just kind of try and find the way through it. That's how my life is. And, it's so I would have thought that if I going into different cities that I would have had to ask permission from the government to allow me to come into the city. And so because I never had to go through the government and I had to go through the city officials, it allowed me to build this movement, for the people, by the people first. And now I don't have to ask anybody any permission. We're everywhere. And so, if there's something in Connecticut, if there's something in Hartford, if there's something, wherever it is, I put it out there on my social media. Okay, I put the location, I put the tools that you'll need, and I'll put the exactly where it is. And what you'll end up seeing is what normally people would be. Everybody's I'm uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm going to stay away from hate. Now what you're seeing is people, instead of running out of the fire, they're running into the fire. and everything happens for a reason, right? So I'm thankful that, you know, and I said that to the lady who called me last week. I'm like, you know, I just want to thank you for never, I guess, believing in me, or if it was just, you know, never getting involved, because it allowed me to grow it. And now, look, Erasing Hate is something that I created, but it's just this million-headed dragon, wildfire flying all over the world that, you know, I'm just a part of now. I'm just a part of this giant thing that's going on, where people are standing up saying that we're not going to put up with this any longer, and that, you know, we're going to be empathetic, and we're going to stop the cycle of hate. And so, you know, it's I wake up every morning and I feel like I'm the most blessed person in the world to be heading that. So yeah.
Well, I think that's all the questions we had, and I just wanted to thank you. Your presentation was awesome, everything I expected it to be, and I hope everyone else enjoyed it as well. I know Corey probably won't ask you, but I'll ask everyone to go out and follow him on social media, because it's important to have the reminder of you posting about all this stuff every day, and to see that there's people doing stuff about it all over the world, not just yourself. And I think that's just really, really powerful.
Well, what's cool about the social media is, you'll see, is that there's, you know, I'm not the only person in the world that's standing up. And so what's super cool is that, you know, what you see with the tattoo removals, there's guys doing the tattoos removals, there's guys doing laser removals, there's guys in Italy who are doing with paint. So what it is, it's super cool that you have all these people that never met each other, that are ganging up as a team, that have their own teams, that are making a difference. So you know, if you have social media, Erasing Hate on Instagram, Erasing Hate on Facebook, you know, or you could just Google Erasing Hate. I mean, it's for wherever you guys are. And so, you know, I hope that, you know, from the youngest person in here to the oldest person in here, this is for everybody. This isn't something that, you know, there's no ageism in this. This is something that anybody, you know, could take part in. And so, you know, so that's great.
And then, do you accept donations anywhere on either social media or your website or anything like that? Or
so we have a new website that's coming up right now that, you know, for the longest time I was like, you know, I kind of stayed away from it all, right? And now that it's growing to such a size and it's taking up so much of my time, that it's, you know, that's what it is. So, you know, you guys, if there is something, you can always send it to Robin, and if not, then in the next few weeks something will be up. But it's more important, you know, if that's how you guys want to get involved, is to donate. That's fantastic. But realistically, for me, it would be, you know, if you see something that's, you know, anything that's derogatory towards any community, this whole thing is just to teach empathy, and it's never too late to reach outside your bubble, or to reach outside your box, to help people that have nothing to do with you. And so I just feel that being a good person is helping not only people in your own communities, but people in different communities, people that it's like so rare, it's like doesn't make any sense, like, you know, because this isn't about me, that I'm not going to take part in it. And you'll get the same feeling by helping. Sometimes it's even better. You know, you're helping somebody that what I love is when I'm helping somebody that I know maybe wouldn't help me. And for me, that's one of my most favorite, you know, feelings in the world. So yeah.
And then easy ways to donate to Voices of Hope that can get allocated towards Erasing Hate is you can go to ctvoicesofhope.org. You can use our text to give number. You can find us on Venmo. Is it CT Voices of Hope on Venmo? Yes, it is. And I just wanted to do a brief little thing on the next speaker series coming up. Next Monday, March 1st, we are welcoming renowned Holocaust educator Mehnaz Al-Fridi, who will speak about the Shoah through Muslim eyes. This will be another remarkable conversation, so be sure to register at the link in the chat. All of our upcoming speakers are listed on our website at ctvoicesofhope.com. And while you're there, please check out all of the Voice of Hope educational and commemorative programs, and to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for the latest updates. And thank everyone. Thank Corey. Thank you all for being here. And have a great night.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for spending the night with me. It means a lot to me, so thank you very much.